Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld of the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, June 27th, 2021. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we will see a pretty unusual weather pattern that will lead to record heat across the areas highlighted in pink. That goes through about Tuesday. We're also looking at the potential for a mix of wet and dry storms across the area. On Monday, those storms will be mostly dry across the far southern parts of the Great Basin. Then as moisture increases from the south, we will see those storms transition to a mix of wet and dry across the south, with drier storms into central Nevada on Tuesday. We're also looking at gusty northeasterly winds in that 25 to 35 mile an hour range across the orange highlighted area today. Over the past 24 hours, there's really nothing in the way of precipitation or lightning across the area. Fire activity has come to a bit of a lull for the time being, which is a welcome break across the area, and we'll continue to see how the record high heat and approaching moisture will affect that. Over the past 7 days, there was a moisture surge that brought areas of showers and thunderstorms to the Great Basin. The moisture associated with that brought an increase in moisture across the eastern and southern parts of the area. ERCs continue to be highest across the southern part of the Great Basin. They have come down a bit across the eastern part of the area where we have seen more moisture lately. Taking a look at those ERC trends, you can see GB35 in southern Utah has taken a dip downwards to closer to normal levels for the time of year. However, further north, where things have been much warmer and drier over the past couple of weeks, you can see that recent values are above record. Satellite this morning shows a very strong high pressure in place across the Pacific Northwest. It's a very unusual weather pattern, and it will lead to exceptionally hot temperatures across the northwestern part of the country. For today, again, you can see that weather pattern on the left with that high pressure across the northwest. We are expecting record heat and abnormally high temperatures across the western part of the Great Basin today, and we have those areas highlighted in orange for those hot conditions. Continuing to look at today with that unusual weather pattern, we are expecting gusty winds this afternoon. You can see those wind speeds are in that 25 to 35 mile an hour range, and one of the other very unusual things is the wind direction will be out of the northeast. That's not something we typically see. Relative humidities are right around 15 to 20% across portions of the eastern Great Basin, and then moving further west around 10 to 15%. As we move into Monday, we keep that high pressure in place that will lead to another day of really hot temperatures. You can see much of the northern and northwestern part of the area highlighted for that heat on Monday. Further south with that increase in lightning, we do have a high risk out for the southern areas. As we move into Tuesday, you can see a lot more of that moisture moving up from the southern part of the Great Basin. We have a high risk for lightning across the areas, mainly in central Nevada and western Utah. Further south, we are expecting another day of showers and thunderstorms, but those storms will trend much wetter, which is why those areas don't have the high risk and have transitioned to that yellow color. Further north, with that high pressure in place, again, another large portion of the northern Great Basin highlighted for that heat on Tuesday. If we look at Tuesday in more detail, you can see the wind gusts on the left. Mainly those higher wind speeds are associated with outflows expected from thunderstorms and much higher humidities across the southern and southeastern part of the Great Basin. Also on Tuesday, this is the forecast precipitation totals for Tuesday. So you can see higher elevations of the central and southern part of the Great Basin expected to see the majority of those storms develop on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, looking at those maximum temperatures, pretty impressive numbers. You can see 104 in Boise. Even outside of our area, really, really hot temperatures. The image on the right shows how those temperatures compare to normal. And the central Idaho mountains are expected to be 25 to 35 degrees hotter than is typically seen at this time of year. So again, just very hot and dry conditions across the northern part of the Great Basin. Over the next 3 days, the focus of precipitation will be across the southern part of the Great Basin as we see that moisture increase from the south. Moving into Wednesday, keeping that moisture in place across the southern part of the Great Basin, that high pressure system across the northwest finally begins to push east. We will continue to see really hot temperatures on Wednesday, as well as the threat of lightning across the central Idaho mountains, which is quite a concern because that will be following quite a few days of record heat. As we move into Thursday, continuing to look at that threat of lightning, it now shifts north into northern Nevada and also into western and the central Idaho mountains. Again, a concern for lightning in these areas after such extreme heat. Moving into Friday, keeping moisture in place across the area, still a concern for lightning across those areas. I've seen so much heat, as well as continued concern for hot conditions across northern Utah and eastern Utah, western Wyoming. And finally, moving into Saturday, looking at much of Nevada and central and southern Utah, the Arizona Strip moving into that yellow category after a couple of days of wetter thunderstorms expected. Over the next 7 days, the majority of precipitation that we do see from thunderstorms will be across the central and southern part of the Great Basin. Finally, the 8 to 14 day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across almost the entire area. The good news is that it looks like that moisture from the monsoon will continue to move up into the area, which is definitely needed across those southern parts of the Great Basin. That's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.